Good evening and welcome to this evening's stream. So we are just getting started. Um, Hopefully you're all having a great weekend or had a great weekend, depending on where you are in the world. And yeah, I don't think we have too much to talk about this week, but yeah, welcome. I'll let the this is what happens when I don't prepare for my streams because I don't have anything to talk about at this moment other than some of the videos I've released this week, which hasn't been too many, unfortunately. I had a few planned, but unfortunately, there wasn't as many as I wanted there to be. So we'll jump straight in. Let me just bring up my talking head camera so you can still see me, so you know I still exist. So this week we've had one video, which is the 5G Outdoor Max. So that got silently dropped. Well, I wouldn't say silently. Well, actually, I would say silently. It got dropped late last week or the week before, maybe on the Friday, I think. So that started shipping. Well, actually, I think was it? I almost want to say it was December 31st, but I can't be sure. Let me double check some dates. Yeah, I think I want to say it was the last day of the year, but yeah, I'm sure someone can correct me. But if you want to go and check that video out, feel free. If you want to know a little bit more about it, or if there's any questions I can ask, feel free to ask them. Any questions that I can answer, I should say. Feel free to feel free to ask away. Let's say some hellos. Right, let's have a quick look here. Just give me 1 second. I am just checking to make sure everything is running as it should be. Just, I really should do this before I go live, but hey, let's live on the wild side, shall we? And to you guys being ever so patient while I'm checking this, I will get to your messages in just a second. I know they are there, and I know you can't see me, but I know they are coming through. Okay, yeah, cool. I think we're good. We're good exactly where we need to be. So yeah, let's say some hellos. Let's see where we got to. Right. It's interesting because I can see some of last week's messages, so I'm just trying to see exactly where we started. I think, Frederick, you kicked everyone off. So hello from Chile, Central Texas. Good afternoon to you. Good evening from a cold and snowy Netherlands. How are you? I'm doing great. It's Sunday. Sorry, bear with me. My daughter's decided to leave some toys under my desk, which is always in the way of me putting my legs comfortably. So I'm just moving them out of the way. But yes, I am doing marvelous. I hope you are as well. Have I ever done any commercial installs? Yes, I have. I've done a few. I've done a few in a couple of warehouses. I've done some retail locations. I've done places of worship. So yeah, I've done a few different commercial installs. Was there anything specific you were looking for? 7:59 and haven't shown up. I did see that message through, I think, as I was just about to hit go live. So yes, I am here. I think it might have been just past 8 that I turned up. But yeah, I'm definitely here. It's chilly in Central Texas, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, 60 Fahrenheit. Let's have a look. 60 F into C. I need to see what this temperature is. 15 degrees. Okay, I can imagine that's probably fairly cold for you guys. 31. Oh, not that one. 31. Oh, you're dropping into the zeros there, or below zero. Interesting. Finally starting to feel like winter. It's been quite cold here. We've had a bit of a cold snap. We've had snow hit the country, which is not generally what happens every year. So, as always, Britain comes to a standstill when there's a bit of snow. So yeah, it's good. Looks and sounds good. Perfect. That's what we want to hear. We want to make sure we are where we're going to be. I'm not sure actually how long I am going to be around for today. I will try and do as long as I can. As long as you guys keep the conversation going, we'll keep it going. But yeah, I don't have that much I need to talk about as such at this point. But anyway, we'll keep going. Let's see how we get on. So my USW Pro HD24 died yesterday. I lost connection, rebooted, and it's taking a little. And that's not. It's a Pro HD model. How long has that been out? It can't have been a year, has it? How long is when did I do my Pro HD review? Or video, should I say? Pro HD. I know I didn't do it at release. That was about 10 months ago. So yeah, I think we're approaching a year for the Pro HD. In terms of a release. So yeah, unfortunately. I would definitely get it checked out though. If you have any warranty or any UI care, get it checked out or log a ticket with Ubiquiti at the very least. The questions that can't be answered. Yes, we love these questions that can't be answered. What day is a G6 Entry Pro being released exactly? Oof. If I had the idea, I would, and I was able to tell you, I definitely would. One, I don't have the idea, so I don't actually know when it's going to be released. And secondly, I can tell you I don't have the unit yet. Whether I'm getting it or not, I don't know yet, but I can tell you I don't have this unit at the moment. Yeah, echo what Frederick's saying there. Do make sure is it under warranty. G6 Entry, it's a solid. Yeah, I mean, I really like the G6 Entry. I think other than the fact that a lot of people are finding it hard to run Ethernet to their door, and they're not very happy that the fact that they don't have a wireless version, or there's no mention of a wireless version just yet. But yeah, overall, I think it's a really good camera. It's a slightly improved image from what the G4 Doorbell Pro is. What some may not be happy again is around the image. So it's more of a 3:4 ratio. So it's more of a portrait image rather than a 4:3 image that was on the G4 Doorbell Pro. So something a little bit different there, that some people wanted that nice wide field of view, which isn't the case on this. Still wide, but it depends on if you wanted a full 180 degrees or as wide as possible that you could get. Then yeah, unfortunately that's not the case with this camera. Bullet Pro camera enhancer review, ETA. I know, Dwight. I know you keep asking me about this. I don't have the Bullet Pro enhancer, and in fact, let me see. Let me write this down. Let me see if I get a chance. I'll see if I can get one sent to me. So Bullet Pro enhancer. I'll make a note of that, and I will ask to see if I can get one. When it arrives, I'm not quite sure, or if it will arrive. But yeah. I bought it at Altex locally, so they'll be swapping it tomorrow. Okay, that's good. That's good that you're able to swap it out. I sold my G4 Doorbell Pro. I'm waiting on getting the new doorbell from Ubiquiti. Are you waiting for the G6 Entry, or are you waiting, or are you just going to get the G6 Entry? Glad to hear it. I hear UI care. I get UI care for anything these days. I lost my G4 Pro and an AI360. Yeah, it can suck when you lose some hardware and you're not really expecting it. But yeah, UI care does help it. Do you run all your management from the cloud, firewall, or local server? I run it from the cloud. I don't. I generally don't keep anything local. I just run it from the cloud. Or if it's locally hosted on the client site, then that's different. And if you're talking about me specifically, I have all my tools running on. I have all my Unify software running off the gateway itself. What's happening from Dubai? Hey, how you doing, CJ? So I had to purchase new ones. Okay, well, we got a couple of questions for you. We'll get you them after the stream. Yeah, sure, no worries. Yeah, feel free to ping over any messages that you wish to do so. It was 26 degrees last week. That's a bit of a swing. I normally think the UK weather swings quite a bit in terms of we go from like 10 degrees to like 0, and you're going from 26 degrees all the way to 0. That's a big change in a week, that's for sure. Thank you, Dwight. Thank you very much for the donation. If you had to put in a 24U rack in a dedicated closet, do you think normal HVAC intake exhaust is enough, or would you need a dedicated AC unit? It depends if that's controllable, really. Again, I'm not sure which country you're in. I'm guessing US. It really depends on what sort of power that's being outputted from the HVAC unit and whether it's individually controlled. I know there's different. We don't really have HVAC systems here in the UK, unless obviously you're in a data center or you're in a more of a commercial building. But yeah, it's definitely worth talking to your HVAC engineer to see what sort of throughput or what sort of cooling you get from that at, whether it's individually controlled. You may need a dedicated unit, but definitely one for you to speak to a HVAC engineer. That's for sure. Unfortunately, I can't give you any better answer than that. But if there's anybody in the comments that can help Dwight out, feel free to ask him or help him in the right direction. Any advantages over the UCG fiber over the UCG Max for a 1 gigabit connection but 2.5 gigabit LAN connectivity? That is a very good question. So let's have a little comparison between the two. Unfortunately, I don't always have the tech specs off the top of my head, although I look at these all day, every day sometimes. I wish they were at the top of my head, but unfortunately they aren't. So let me see if I can quickly find the comparison tool. I don't know where they're... I don't know if I'm missing it. Maybe I am missing it. I can't find the comparison tool on their website. Like I'm sure I've seen people just have a compare button when they're clicking on stuff, but I can't seem to see it. I don't know. Maybe if I show you my screen, someone could point me in the right direction. But I'm sure there is some sort of compare button, unless I'm being compare. No. I'm sure there is something. But anyway, let's just go to techspecs.ui.com because that's just easier for me to navigate. So, and there's a nice compare button that's just up here. I know there is one on the website. I just can't seem to find it. But anyway, we are looking at the Cloud Gateway Max, and we want the Cloud Gateway Fiber. So is there any real advantages if you're using... so I guess, Michael, the other question for you is, are you using any other applications? Are you using Protect? Are you using Access? More probably Protect from that kind of thing. But it seems the cameras are the same anyway. But the big one initially would be the number of managed devices. I don't know how many devices you are planning to manage with your unit, but there's a little bit more with the Cloud Gateway Fiber. The number of WAN ports. They're both, in terms of the IPS and IDS throughput, I mean, the way I always look at it is what you have today it may not be what you have tomorrow. So I would definitely, if I had a choice between the two, and if you were just picking one just based on what you were thinking of going with, I would just go with the fiber because it gives you a little bit more power. The form factor is fairly similar. It's just slightly wider. But yeah, you get all the rest of it's pretty much the same features within. I don't think, I'm just quickly scrolling through the list, I don't think there is anything else that is different between them. You have PoE budget on the Cloud Gateway Fiber. That's the other thing to note. They're both 3 gig of RAM. There's a slightly more powerful processor in the Cloud Gateway Fiber. So yeah, for the difference of $80, I would probably just go with the Cloud Gateway Fiber for sure. And I just read one of the comments which said if you hover over the okay, right, there we go. So I am being completely blind. If you hover over the product, there's a compare button. Interesting. There we go. See, I knew there was an easier way to do it. Thank you. I don't know who said that. Where are you? Pond US 68. Thank you very much. And then you just click on compare, and there we go. And we have the text specs down there. And if you want the unique specs only, yeah. I don't know why I selected Cloud Gateway Ultra, because I don't want the Ultra. I want the Cloud Gateway Max. No, Cloud Gateway Fiber. There we go. They're the same price? Am I going crazy? Or did that just not work right? I clicked the Cloud Gateway Max, which is 199. Unless it's giving me the 279 with the SSD or something. Yeah, maybe it's giving me the price with the SSD. Who knows? Anyway, we'll go back. We'll move on. Don't have anything there. Just bear with me 1 second again. Just want to make sure. This is set up correctly. Oh, there we go. Okay, anyway. Do you have any way to get fresh air into the closet and a way to exhaust the hot air? Yep, there you go, Frederick. Glad you're on here sometimes because you definitely help out. Hello, good evening, happy Sunday or afternoon, depending on where you are, or good morning or happy Monday, wherever you are. On DB question, not sure yet. Hey TJ, how you doing? What's the best way to connect these 4 devices together and why? What is the best way to connect these 4 devices together and why? I'm assuming you're about to list out those 4, but I can't see. Oh yeah, I see it further down. Okay. I will come to your question shortly, CJ. I've seen it further down. Hey Black Jedi, good afternoon. Hit the like button indeed. How many of us are there at the moment? I don't know. There is we have currently 33 of us and just 9 likes. I'm sure we can do better than that. That's for sure. Hello. Do you know if you can do text to talk alerts on the G6 entry doorbell via Alarm Manager? So if the doorbell is pressed, a package is detected to say, I don't think the doorbell does announcements, but if I let me have a quick look. I don't think I can show you this at the moment, but let me have a quick look. So G6 entry, if we go to Alarm Manager, create a new alarm. If we do it based on person, let's do it based on motion camera. G6. Where is my other? Is door hub mini entry? Sound. Possibly. So what have I got here? Just making sure I can show you what's on the screen. Have the AI LPR. So there's no way to get it to play out the siren directly. That's just the audio. So audio file. Yeah, there isn't. No, there isn't. So there is a way you can trigger an audio file through the smart Wi-Fi chime, but that's just to alert you in terms of what's happening for an activity. But yeah, unfortunately, no, there isn't. There isn't. I don't have the AI horn installed at the moment, so I can't see it as a pop-up, but I would imagine you may be able to do something with the AI horn. Let me just have another look, just make sure I've got the right settings. So system, sensors, activity. So activity is ring, and then we have the door hub. So yeah, I mean, if I show you, if I take a quick screenshot of this. There we go, computer. So that's what is coming up there. So that's the sound option. So you can use an audio file and you can upload a different audio file if you want. It would be, you could play that through the smart Wi-Fi chime, but you can't play it back through the doorbell. There isn't an option to select. When I select it, I only get the PoE siren and I only get the Wi-Fi chime. So there is, yeah, that's the way that one would work. Like I said, I don't have the AI horn installed at the moment to see if something like that would work. But yeah, that's probably another option. But I think the AI horn is a bit of an overkill for yeah, it's a bit of an overkill for residential. And having a horn about this big at the front door could be could be a little bit intimidating. I can get an intake and exhaust of hot air, but I don't know if that'll be enough to keep the closet cool. The HVAC sensors will not be in my closet. Is there a way you could do something through Home Assistant or using the environmental? No, the environmental sensor won't work. But using something like Home Assistant to trigger an alert. So you could use an environmental sensor, not necessarily the Ubiquiti one, but you can use something that links into Home Assistant natively, and then you can trigger an alert to kick the HVAC to kick in, something like that maybe. Is the EFG the only capable device of doing over 2 gigabits WAN with IPS and IDS? No, there's quite a few. There are quite a few gateways that can do over 2 gigabits per second. Cloud Gateway Max being one of them that does 2.3 gigabits per second. Cloud Gateway Fiber, I don't think the Lite does. Yeah, so if I quickly show you this, wrong camera. If I quickly show you this, we have the Dreamwall does 3.5 gigabits per second. The Unify Express does 2.3 gigabits. Dreamroot 7 does 2.3. Cloud Gateway Max, Fiber, all the Dream machines, and the EFG does 12.5 gigabits per second with IPS and IDS. So if you're looking for, unless that was supposed to say 12 gigabits, then yes, that would be the only one that can do it, and maybe the Enterprise Gateway, which is the one without the cloud key built into it. But the rest of them, there are quite a few that do more than 2 gigabits per second. How big? It's I don't know if that question came up, but that was a question from Josh. I don't know if that, I can't remember whether that showed up or not. But anyway, how big is the room? You may want to get a mini split with a unit. Yeah, dedicated thermostat. Yeah, that's another option. That's one end of it. Evening. Loving the look of the 5G Max outdoor. I can't get my words out this evening, and I'm guessing I didn't bring a bottle of water with me. Wonderful. Anyway. I will stand a much better chance of getting signal outside away from the house. Yeah, I mean, you can run this from wherever you want. I mean, as long as you can get a cable there, you can run this from wherever you want. And it seems like a good unit from what I used it from testing and seeing how well it worked. My 49 RU open network rack in my office is next to my desk. Is only 2 Fahrenheit warmer than the rest of the house. It's not bad. It's not too bad. Protect, yes. Yeah, so I would probably go with the fiber if I was in your shoes. If the $80, yes, it is a lot of money, but if it's nor here nor there in the grand scheme of things, I would probably go with the fiber. And while I'm there, let me very shamelessly pop in. Let me very shamelessly pop in my affiliate link. So if you are looking to buy anything, feel free to use the link to help out the channel. So yeah, it won't be big. I may have to, even though it would be expensive. The compare appears when you hover over the product. Yeah, thank you very much. If it's at least one side of the room, outside wall mini split would be the way to go. What is the best way to connect these 4 devices? UDM Pro, USW Pro 24 EU, and USW Enterprise 24, and an ENVR. Okay. I guess you're not putting an aggregation switch in because the aggregation switch would be the first one to go. But depending on what sort of WAN connectivity you have, if you're only having a gigabit WAN, this is just under the assumption. So if you're using a gigabit WAN, you can use your port mappers to remap these ports to LAN connections, if I remember correctly, or use the use the gigabit connection here, and then I would probably plug in the 2 switches into this port, and then I would probably plug in the EMVR into one of the other switches at 10 gig. Yeah, I mean it really depends on how much speed you need, to be fair. But yeah, I would probably go with something like that. But if you needed a more than 1 gigabit internet connection, then yeah, I wouldn't even say daisy chain. Possibly daisy chaining might be the option depending on what's on the second switch or the first switch. Obviously use the enterprise one that has 2.5 gig, and then you can use the Pro 24. But yeah. And I don't think I actually clicked on the question. So yeah, that's the question. So hopefully that answers or gives you some ideas as to what you might want to do. If I quickly just open up my network console, settings, system, nope. I want to go to internet. So if I quickly show you this on mine. Let me just minimize this. Let me open this. So on mine, you can assign the ports. So that is port 9. That's so use port 9 and 10 for optimal performance is what it says. But yeah, there's nothing stopping you using the other ports. And I clicked on port 8, I think it was, to assign it to a WAN 1 or WAN 2. So you can do that if you want to do so. You don't have to use the port 9 and 10 if you don't want to. UDM Pro, 210 gig SFPs, 210 gig SFPs, 10 gigabit SFP. So yeah, I mean, hopefully that answers your question. To be fair, cameras don't take a lot of bandwidth. Or well, it depends actually how many you've got an EMVR. So it depends how many you're deploying. But I would probably plug your EMVR into, yeah, I would probably plug your EMVR into where most of the cameras are. Excuse me. Oh, sorry, it has been a very. I feel like I'm always. You guys are not boring me. Don't worry. It's just been a very long day. Maybe I need to start switching my live streams to the morning. That way I'm a bit more awake. Can I use a hub mini for a side gate? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. CJ, I guess back to your question. Hopefully that kind of answers your question in terms of what you're looking for and how to get that set up. Won't be on any exterior facing walls. I mean, I guess, Dwight, if it's something you can open the door, not open the doors, but if it is something you can trigger with a sensor through Home Assistant and that will be enough for the cooling, then possibly something you might want to think about. Good evening. Hey, Rich, how you doing? It'll be in my office, so I plan on making a closet with soundproofing. Okay, fine, fair enough. Hello there, hope all is well. I have a Unify system with 3 guest SSIDs. I would like to know if I can have a different guest portal for each SSID. I don't think you can. I think it's only a single guest portal. I actually have a video coming soon on the guest portal. And I think, as far as I'm aware, you're only able to set up a single guest portal. I don't think there's an option to create multiple at this point. I can do it via Home Assistant. When you are doing the U7 Pro XG review that you mentioned that you were doing, someone reported up to 30% better speeds than the non-XG version. I don't think I have the non-XG version. I'll have to have a look, but it's here we go. It's still sat right here. So it's on my to-do list. So I had a bit of time this week to do some recording, and I decided to record. I was going to talk about this at the end, but we can talk about this now. I decided to do my Network 2026 video. Took a little bit longer than I expected, and I think currently at the moment that video is 1 hour and 20 minutes long, and it's still being edited. So I think what I'm probably going to plan to do is I'll probably do is I'll probably upload one long video and then see somehow if I can split them up into different parts. But yeah, I didn't expect it to be that long. So hopefully there's some good valuable information in there that's going to help people where they might need it. You can run the hoses through the attic or the crawl space, but it will add to the overall cost. Yeah, not ideal. Yeah, for sure. Do you mean an exhaust fan? Ubiquiti showed me something like that in a video on the AR horn where a worker entered the zone without a hard hat. Yeah, so I mean, that's kind of what you can do, and I'm really hoping Ubiquiti brings something that is more residential, or they bring something similar to the siren that you're able to play alerts through, because I guess some people might want that in their residential buildings, but unfortunately you can do it with the AR horn, there's nothing stopping you, but it is more of a commercial unit. I'm not sure if you can hear me yet, so I'm kind of hoping you can. Do let me know if you can hear me. And yeah, I think you can, because I've put it back on my machine. And I'm just reading your comments, CJ. I should have actually gone to get a bottle of water. Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake. I should have done that while I was. But anyway, yeah. So I thought I got past the issues of my computer crashing, because I kind of figured out it was Chrome that was causing me the pain. And when I switched to Edge, I went a few weeks without it. But I think so. The other social platform that begins with the letter T, but that now works on Mac OS. So I think I'm going to move this over. I have my Mac Studio behind me. I think I'm going to get that set up and move it here, so I can just use something that's a bit more stable, to say the least. I'm hoping this loads. Please load the messages. Please load the messages. Where did we get to? Did it not? Did it? Where did we get to? I'm gonna have to pop out my chat. This is not what I normally do. Anyway, yeah. So let's go across here, because I can't remember where I got to. So yeah, we covered UCJ. We covered this. We covered this. Oh, I think we did. I think we're at a good point. So actually, let me go back to here. Please let me know if you missed anything out, or if I missed anything out while I was away. But Craft Computing is building a sensor for a rack at the moment. Yeah, so that's one thing that could help you out there. I managed to find it after the question. I'm looking for 8 gigabits per second. I think the EFG is the only one that's capable. Yes, it is. And again, my link is somewhere in the chat in there. So if you are looking to purchase one of those, or you are looking to get one, feel free to... there you go. Feel free to use that link. Yeah, another shameless plug. Why not? Have the HVAC engineer... Sorry, bear with me. It looks like I'm getting spammed on one of the chats, which is not right. So let me go back here. Let me turn this off because I don't know where this is coming from. But anyway, let me just delete some messages. Sorry, bear with me. Disappear. This is where I guess streaming to multiple platforms is not always the best idea because I can't moderate all the chats. But anyway, where was I? So, okay. Craft computing axe effect sensor, Wi-Fi or PoE. If I switch from the UDR7 to a gateway fiber, am I going to need to redo my entire internet setup, or will it replace flawlessly? So if you I don't know what's going on here. There we go. If you back up your internet connection, and you back up your internet connection. If you go, let me focus a little bit. I'm trying to multitask, so it's not really working. If you go to control plane and take a backup, and I think it's in the latest network version that the backup of the network application is actually moved to control plane as well. So you can back up everything there, and then you can just set up your cloud gateway fiber and click restore from backup. I think maybe I should do a video on this. Click restore from backup and then select your latest backup, and everything should come across properly. The only thing you may struggle with is your recordings. So your Unified Protect recordings, this is not something I've tried. This is something I've done in the past which has worked. So when I had to restore my UDM Pro, I took out my drives before restoring, and I restored everything back, and I popped the drives back in, and then it gives you an option at the end to allow you to restore your recordings. So I would probably use the SD card you have. No, that's not going to work because you're going from SD card to solid state drive. Ignore what I was about to say. But yes, your network settings will restore. Your recordings will probably not restore, unfortunately. Right. What are your thoughts about Unified Protect as an alarm system configured with a siren and motion sensor? I have big hopes for this. I know they do already, and I know they are kind of in that way in terms of they're slowly moving to that direction. But I have some big hopes. If you configure Alarm Manager correctly and everything works as you expect it to, or the triggers work as you expect them to, I think it's a really good system, and it's only going to get more powerful as we get along. With more features coming, with more products coming, the whole setup and the build out is only going to get better and better. Let me bring this here. Okay. Smoke alarm ETA. I think Frederick mentioned this a while back, that they had some sort of event, or they had some sort of they had something anyway. They had an event that they were talking about the Superlink stuff, and it was mentioned that it was going to be 2026. I think it was Q1, maybe even Q2 of 2026. So yeah, I'm not expecting to see this anytime soon. I imagine they have a lot of standards that they have to adhere to, especially across multiple countries. So for them to be able to release something that is ready for all the countries at the same time, yeah, it's going to take a little while. It's going to take a little while for sure. What's the best AP for a 5-bedroom home with a heavy brick walls? It really depends. I would probably get you to go to design.ui.com and have a quick test on. Draw out your mappings, plot out the walls, and then pop the APs in. you may need to have a few, rather than having one powerful one, you may need to have a few less powerful ones in a more of a heavy brick area, rather than having one main powerful one, because you may not be able to get from one side to the other. You might be better off with going maybe with 4 or 5 light APs rather than one E7 or one U7 Pro XGS, for example. So yeah, it really depends on your setup and layout and how many brick walls there actually are. So yeah, unfortunately I can't give you a definitive answer, but yeah, definitely use design.ui.com and see how that works for you. Thank you very much, CJ. Appreciate it. No worries. Happy to help wherever I can. Hey, Omar. Happy New Year. I was thinking of getting, if I get a gate hub and use facial recognition to open the house strike and use the LPR to open the garage door. Just trying to picture this in my head. So you're walking in, you have a gate hub, you're walking in, it's picked up your face and you can trigger a strike. I think you can do that without it. You can do it with it, but you would have to have the strike configured on that gate hub. So yes, it's possible. The LPR to open the garage door, that's possible. I've shown that in another video, but I've not shown the facial recognition. Are you expecting AI development this year? Even if you can't be specific, even if you can't specify what it is, I'm hoping they improve on the AI stuff that they have. The AI key, I think, has huge potential in other areas, so I'm kind of hoping they broaden the scope. I don't know what it would look like in different areas, but I'm hoping they bring it across the stacks, so we could use it in different areas, because it's quite powerful for what it does, for what it is. So I'm hoping they can utilize it in other areas. Yeah. Yep. Definitely hit that like button. So there's 42 of you, and I appreciate you all sticking around during my technical difficulties. And that's 18 likes. But what I am going to do is, I don't normally like to step away from my streams, but I'm just going to quickly go get a bottle of water. So I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to leave you with this image of my keyboard, and I'll be back with you in 30 seconds. I'm hoping one of you were counting, and that was 30 seconds, hopefully. And it just so happens that I'm back when you all said I'm back on my stream. But yeah, we can hear you. Hey, Z Gamer, how you doing? Good evening. Loud and clear. Try using Brave browser. It's a far better option. So I've just downloaded that on my Mac. So I'm going to give that a go and see how I get on with it, and see if I get less issues. Maybe I should just try it on Windows as well. CJ, we can adjust the level of the sensitivity recognition. I think I should do a video on that, testing out the facial recognition on some of the cameras, because although it does pick up your face, I don't think I've actually tested it to see how well it works, to see what it's like. Because I think I saw one video a little while ago of someone printing out a face, and they just held it up and it worked. It opened the door for them. So I know there is a sensitivity setting within it, so maybe I should do a video on it. Does the intercom viewer work? Without having any kind of access hub? No, unfortunately not. If I show you, let's go to their website. If I show you the door access, and if I show you the G6 entry, even the Pro version, and I think I'm disappeared again on here. There we go. Even the Pro version, if we go down to FAQs, it will tell you here, can I use it without an access hub? Yes. What access features are available? How do I pair the G6 Pro entry with an intercom viewer as a receiver? So you need to make sure you do it through the Unify Access application. And for this to show up in the Unify Access application, you need to make sure you have some sort of door hub with it. How warm does your G6 entry get in normal conditions? I can't say I've actually tried, to be honest. I mean, it sits outside most of the time, so and we are in the middle of winter, so it's not something I've really bothered looking at or figuring out how cold or how hot it gets. Maybe drop me a message, and it's something I can test during the week just to see. Maybe bring it back next weekend. Hey Vasil, how you doing? You missed my first crash of 2026, so yeah, I'm sure no doubt it will happen again. But yeah, that definitely happened. Do you think it's worth the wait, extra money for the G6 Pro entry? I see few differences with the G6 entry, better cameras, touchscreen, QR code pin. Any other advantages? Ooh, it really depends what you are after. I mean, the big thing is the screen on it and the slightly better camera. That is the big difference between them, or that is one of the big differences between them. Other than that, I think in terms of the camera view, it's the same. Yeah, I don't think there is. I think you're there. So you've got the screen, you've got the slightly better camera. It is going to be slightly bigger. So yeah, it really depends whether that touchscreen and the better camera is going to be of advantage to you. I can't tell you how much better the image is going to be because I don't have it yet. So I couldn't even say maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but maybe something I can cover in my video when I finally get one. Mine gets very warm. Is that normal? If you're concerned about the heat, maybe do a couple of things. Go to the Unify community forums, post a message there. Other people can tell you their experiences, or if you're really concerned, open up a live chat ticket with the agents, and they'll tell you whether it's within normal operating temperatures or not, whether you should be concerned. You were talking about AI horn in the residential. Is that what? Yeah, I kind of forgot what I was talking about, but yeah, it was. I think I was talking more around the size of the AI horn, and I'm hoping they make something a little bit smaller for residential use. So that would be quite cool, because having that big AI horn on your front door to say something, I think that could be a little bit intimidating. I think that's where I was going to with that conversation or that question. Do you think Ubiquiti will ever develop anything like the Reolink E1 Pros? I have no idea what the Reolink E1 Pro looks like. Let's have a look. I can't say I've seen something like this. It kind of reminds me of the G5 PTZ, to be honest. But I know it's probably a little bit smaller than that. I guess it's something you want to be able to sit on your desk, or yeah, I can't say. I've seen anything in their camera lineup. So I can't say yes for sure. You want a G6 Instant that can move side to side. I'm sure if you Google, I know it's not native, but I'm sure you can get something that will move side to side for you. And I'm sure I've probably seen something online. But yeah, I get what you mean. But no, I don't think even coming from the UWC, I've not seen anything like that. That seems to be on their roadmap. But that being said, when I was in the UK UWC, and they had a load of stuff that was being shown for the future, there was a load of stuff that came out that wasn't there. So yeah, it's not possible. It's just that I've not seen anything like that yet. When you're using the alarm manager trigger, I don't believe there is a way to adjust the sensitivity of the facial recognition. You can adjust the sensitivity using the intercom. Yeah, I think I need to. I think I need to play around a little bit more with the sensitivity side on the facial recognition. Good evening. What's the advantages of using the travel router? What the advantage of using a travel router over saying your phone as a hotspot? Do you think there is a Wi-Fi G6 Pro entry future for those of us in older homes? So good evening to your thank you for your questions. In terms of the travel router, can you do the similar sort of thing with your phone? Yes, you can. Is it easy to do? No, it's not. If you want something that's easy, straight out of the box, I have it right here. So is it something that you want that's easy, straight out of the box that you can plug in, it connects back home, and you don't need to think about anything secondly? Then yeah, fortunately, then this is the device for you. Is it overly priced? It's $79. I don't think it's expensive for what it is. Do I hope there's more features that's probably coming to it? Probably yes. I mean, there is a video out there. I think someone did a video. I think was it 777 or 404? I think he did a video on using his phone as a hotspot to teleport back. I didn't watch all of it, but feel free to look at that if that's something you want to do. It's not as easy and straightforward as you might think. There's a bit of work to do, so you can do it. It's just how much effort you want to put in. If you want to be playing around with everything, then yeah, you can. If not, then I just realized I haven't clicked on the message. Then yeah, you can go and lost my train of thought there. Yeah, so if it's something you want to go and play around for a bit, then yeah, you can. If you want something that just works out of the box, then maybe the travel router will do that for you. Do I think there will be a Wi-Fi G6 Pro entry? Do I think there will be a Wi-Fi G6 Pro entry with the Wi-Fi access features? Maybe not. I'm hoping there's going to be some G6 Pro model that will have Wi-Fi. I'm hopeful that they will release something. I can't see them. It just depends on how much power it requires. I can't see them putting the access features in a Wi-Fi version, but again, stranger things have happened, so who knows. But I'm hoping they do release some Wi-Fi version because I'm sure they've heard it enough on the forums and the community forums and yeah, just even in person at the UWCs that I'm sure they definitely want a Wi-Fi version. Unfortunately, yeah, no worries, that's fine. I don't really expect generally much chat on the other ones anyway, but if it's there, it's there. If it's not, then yeah. So I've hit a PPPoE performance wall with my UDM SE with my new 1.6 gigabit per second OpenReach connection. Where is that new Dream Machine hardware with PPPoE offloading? I couldn't comment on this because I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, you can probably read about some of the models that might be coming or model online, but yeah, I don't. When it's coming, I have no idea, unfortunately. Bogdan made a good video. Bogdan made a video on restoring to a new gateway. Yeah, I mean, feel free to check out Bogdan's channel. It's Bogdan Apex IT1 or Apex 1 IT, I think. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, feel free to check out his videos. Multiple in several areas. I think that was for the Wi-Fi access one. So most of the Unify creators hyped up the G6 180, but now it's available. There's not a lot of chatter on it. Do you think most were unhappy with it? I wouldn't say it's unhappy. I mean, I think the camera is a decent camera. The stitching is a little bit, for me, from my experience. I know others didn't have the same experience, but for me, the stitching is a little bit more. There probably needs to be a little bit more work on it from my usage. But it wasn't the same for everybody. But that was just from what I was doing. But yeah, I mean, it does its job. It's a decent camera. Do I think there needs to be much more said about it? Probably not at this point. With Ubiquiti constantly releasing devices, I think there's more to be spoken about. But yeah, I don't think it was. I mean, it was a good camera. It was long awaited, but it's kind of one of those. It's kind of it's come and gone, really. Um, Maybe I don't know. I mean, is it still? Let's have a look. Is it still available? It's always the $1 million question, right? I mean, since then we've had the travel router, which seems to have got a lot more press than the G6 180. So yeah, I think there's a lot more that's been said about that. It's not available in the US. It's not available in the EU, and it's still available in Canada. So for those that are in Canada that want that, you can still get it, and it's available in the UK. So I don't think there is. Yeah, I think just the release of the router, I think, kind of trumped the G6 180, and that's why you've probably not heard too much more about it. Reolink released a video this week of a new device called the AI Box. I think I've heard of this. I think it might have been you last time, Vasu, actually, that spoke about the AI Box from Reolink. And it's similar, I think, to the AI key, right? It does a similar sort of concept. AI box and a flagship 24 megapixel triple lens security camera. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think the AI. I think they've announced the AI box before. I've heard about it before. Or was that from another brand? I can't remember. I'm sure it was Reolink, or was it UFi? Maybe it was UFi I heard from before. I'm not sure. But yeah, there was something. I've not heard too much about it or what it is, but yeah, it seems it's like the battle of the smartphones, right? One company does something, then the other one gets on board, then the other company does something, and the other one gets on board. So it's just one of those things. They just kind of go between, right? It's just who wins the audience, I guess. 26 seconds. Not bad. Okay, not bad. Okay, I was under 30 seconds, which is the main thing. Any hopes of an updated floodlight anytime soon? I would hope so, but I've not heard of anything, and I didn't see anything at the UWC either. So I'm not sure if there is anything that's going to be coming, but that's probably not something to yeah, it's probably not something that was would have been a good showcase, but yeah, who knows? Hopefully, I hope they do, but I think they have other priorities at this point. Could you please set up? Could you please make a video on how to set up a unified gateway, but rather than a more professional video on how to set up, but rather than a more professional video on how to set it up. Every video on YouTube is for beginners. So you want something a bit more in detail. So I was just saying at the start of this video, I've done a video on Unified 2026 or Unified Network for 2026. And it's quite a long video. I'm still editing it, and it was about an hour and 20 minutes at that point when I was still editing it. So I'm hoping that kind of goes into a bit more detail. So it kind of covers the beginner to the more advanced stuff. So hopefully that will cover it for you. When is it launching, or when is that video coming? Maybe the back end of the week, maybe the following week. I haven't quite decided yet. TP-Link do them and Tapo do them. Yeah, I think, like I said, it's once one company does one, then they all start slowly getting on board. But Ubiquiti sometimes seem to be a law of their own. They launch what they want to launch, and like we've not seen a solar powered camera yet or something like that. All the other companies tend to kind of do those kind of cameras, but we've not seen them from Ubiquiti. I don't know if the more commercial brands like Hikvision and Axis, I don't know if they do those kind of cameras, because that's where they kind of sit themselves, I guess. Solar panel camera. Well, I guess so, yeah. I mean, it's not really a solar powered camera, but it's more a solar powered kit. Interesting. Anyway. What time are we at? Oh, I didn't think we were going to be here that long, but we're already at the hour mark. Let's take a few more questions. Let's see how we get on. The UTR, I found a great video. So I found the UTR I have found great so far. I've compared it to the GLI Net Slate 7, and the two are completely different product use cases. Yeah, and I think that's what some people don't fully quite understand. Well, they do understand, but I think sometimes they just look for something to complain about. That the GLI Net does this, this, and this, and this, and the Ubiquiti one does this. There's probably a bit of a price difference between the GLI Net, especially the Slate 7 and the Travel Router. So you have to kind of weigh it up. We always know you pay a slight premium for Ubiquiti. It's always been the case, but or generally the case. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's a no-brainer, and yeah, it does become a daily carry, especially when you're going places and traveling to sites. It just makes life a little bit easier. Ask me anything. Cheese and onion or prawn cocktail crisps? For me, definitely cheese and onion. I do like prawn cocktail, but definitely cheese and onion. I guess CJ doesn't agree with me. By the way, G5 Pro and Enterprise 48 are still discounted. I'm thinking of grabbing a G5 Pro as I have the capacity for a second on my AI port. Shame the enhancer is still the full price. Okay, good to know. Good to know that they're still at the discounted price. Did you guys go over the Superlink antenna? No, we did not. And I completely forgot I posted about that. I even posted about it. I think I sat here at the start of the stream and I'm like, I don't have anything to talk about at the moment. But yeah, this decided to show itself at the start of the week. This is the Superlink high gain antenna. Let me get my words out. Super gain. All right, let's try again one more time. Superlink high gain antenna. So this is an omnidirectional IP67 antenna, so it's something you can keep outside. I think this is the video they kind of show the use case for it, so you can pop it inside. Is that the big size junction box? I mean, or is that a little bit of a smaller junction box? I mean, that's quite a big junction box just to put in that small Superlink device, but you know. Stranger things have happened, I guess. Maybe the Flex Pro might have been a better option, or they're going to come out with a slightly smaller junction box, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, that covers up to, what did I read? 5 kilometers, 3 miles? Yeah, 5 kilometers, 3.1 miles. And obviously, yeah, there's the caveat in there that it is line of sight. And the Bluetooth is up to 100 meters. Interesting. Okay. Well, definitely, I'm just going back to the image because it definitely looks like a decent size antenna. Because if I pause that there, you can see it up against the size of the box. So I'm wondering if it's because if that's the case, it's going to be a decent size antenna. That's for sure. I'm new to Unify and everything looks different in the videos. They must have made a lot of changes recently. Yes. So I think in the last year, they have really been pushing in their software. They've made some huge changes, which is also why I wanted to make this video for 2026. And I am hoping they don't release something new in the next couple of weeks that makes that video out of date, because it took a long time to, I think overall, I recorded it over maybe 3 or 4 days. Not 3 or 4 days total, but over the duration of 3 or 4 days. And it took a little bit of time. I think the longest time I probably spent was on the firewall side of things, I think. I do try. Maybe I should print something like that on the Superlink. Could do one of these Superlink antennas that have a sensor just out of range and it pops in and out. Yeah, I could probably do it for you. Mine doesn't even reach 30 meters on Bluetooth, but then there's 3 brick walls. Yeah, that's that's definitely not going to help. So I'm going to take my last couple of questions. I know there's one there already. I appreciate you all sticking around, and I appreciate the super chats this evening. So thank you all very much. Taking down my G6 Pro turret has been a problem. Installed easily, but removing it is a problem. I'm afraid to break it. G6 Pro turret. Which one? 1 second. I'm just trying to remember how to put that one together. My screen is being a pain. G6 Pro turret. I don't think I had an issue with this one. It's got that, it's kind of the clip, right? So when you pop it on, you kind of click it into place. And I think when I took it off the first time, you kind of have to not give it a bit of pressure, but you just make sure your screw's loose and then you can pop it off. But yeah, I know what you mean. Hopefully it doesn't break. Thank you, Josh. Thanks for hanging around. So yeah, anyway, we'll call it a day just there, I think. Hopefully you all have an enjoyable rest of your Sunday and a great week. And if there's something new, maybe I'll decide to stream during the week if I get time. At the moment, I don't think I am going to get time to do it, but we'll see how we get on. Thank you all for joining me this evening. Have a wonderful evening and the rest of your weekend, and enjoy your week. And I know I realize I've said that twice now, but yeah, have a good one.